Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Let's sing Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girvardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girvardhari Shodanandan Vrajjana Ranjana Shodanandan Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tiruvanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnanatirmidasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Sariyum Sadvetam Savdevatam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranmami Haripriya Vanchakalpat Priyascha Kirpa Sindhuve Vacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpata Mandashi Gurundin Taranam Paramananda Madham Shitsaneshwar Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chevanaruttam Devim Sasmit Vyasam Tato Jimadurin Nashta Prashabdarishi Nitya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. Last time we were talking about Maharaj Parikshit, that even though he had renounced everything, he had renounced his etiquettes. He still had his etiquettes. How nicely he welcomed every sage that arrived to see him, to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Although he wasn't aware yet that this was going to happen, but he received everybody so nicely that they had come to his kingdom. They had come to see him. So that was very refreshing. He hadn't lost his composure at all. And also we said that he was humble enough to ask others' opinion in a situation like this, we think right now I'm going to do what I need to do, and I don't want anybody else telling me what to do. He was still happy to take the opinion of others, and is open to advice, as was mentioned. And it was also mentioned that he was definitely going to back to Godhead, and for various reasons were given, and some of the reasons are here, that because he took association of some great devotees that day, and he was asking for forgiveness, for humility. He was bowing to everyone, he was asking for forgiveness. He was showing them humility, and in return he got blessings of all the sages. And plus, then when Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken and he heard it for 7 days, that really made the point that he will be going back to Godhead. So let's continue with verse 13. Okay, hope you can all see this. Rajo vacha aho vayam dhanyatma nirpanam mahatma nugraha niya shila rajyam kulam brahmana pad shochat durat vishratam bat garha karma. Excuse me. So Rajo vacha aho aha vayam we, Danya Tamaha, most thankful, Nirpanam, of all the kings, Mehettam, of the great souls, Anugrahaniya Shila, trained to get favors, Rajyam, of the royal, Kulam, orders, Brahman Pad, feet of the Brahmans, Shochat, refuse after cleaning, Durat, at a distance, Vishristam, always left out, but on account of Greha, condemnable karma activities. The fortunate king said, "Indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls. Generally, you the sages consider royalty as a refuse to be rejected and left in a distant place." So I'm just going to read that again. The fortunate king said, "Indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls of the sages." Yeah, generally, you sages consider royalty as a refuse to be rejected and left in a distant place. So Srila Prabhupada explains, according to religious principles, stool, urine, wash water, etc. must be left at a long distance. So this is how he sees himself. Attached bathrooms, urinals, etc. may be very convenient amenities of modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. So en-suites are condemned, basically. We're looking for houses and we tell other people, oh yes, we have an en-suite, we have a house with 2 en-suites, but according to Vedic knowledge, these places should not be connected to the house. They should be far away, as it was in the old days here as well. The toilets would be in the garden somewhere. You have to walk a few yards to get to your toilet. Maybe very convenient in modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. That very example is cited herein in relation to the kingly order for those who are progressively marching back to Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to be in intimate touch with dollars and cents men or the kingly orders is worse than suicide for one who desires to go back to Godhead. In other words, the transcendentalists do not generally associate with men who are too enamored by the external beauty of God's creation. By advanced knowledge in spiritual realization, the transcendentalist knows that this beautiful material world is nothing but a shadowy reflection of the reality, the kingdom of God. They are not therefore very much captivated by royal opulence or anything like that. But in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, the situation was different. Apparently, the king was condemned to death by an inexperienced Brahman boy, but factually he was called by the Lord to return to him. Other transcendentalists, the great sages and mystics who assembled together because of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting unto death, were quite anxious to see him, for he was going back to Godhead. So there's like another reason why they came. It's great to see off a great king who's made it back. They already know that he's going back to Godhead. Maharaj Parikshit also could understand that the great sages who assembled there were all kind to his forefathers, the Pandavas, because of their devotional service to the Lord. He therefore felt grateful to the sages for being present there at the last stage of his life, and he felt that it was all due to the greatness of his late forefathers and grandfathers. So they were all well-wishers of his elder generations, and he knows that they've seen him from a child onwards. They feel, good respects and have good feelings for him as well. He felt proud, therefore, that he happened to be the descendant of such great devotees. Such pride for the devotees of the Lord is certainly not equal to the puffed up sense of vanity for material prosperity. So spiritual pride, so in this way it's a good thing. The first is reality, whereas the other is false and vain. So anything used in spirituality is a boon, is a good thing. But used for material things which are temporary is not so good. So here 13. So it's mentioned, we talk about the toilets and things like that. So he says that these places produce negative energy. We can even get ill due to these negative energies. This is why we should be away from the residence. Vastu Purusha. Maharaj felt fortunate to have all these sages show their mercy upon him. So there's two parts to this. First we talk about the convenience, bathrooms, etc. And it's said that these places produce negative energy, and according to Vastu, that they should not be joined to the property. But what to do? Even in the temples, you see that the toilets tend to be inside, right? In the building, we can't have, especially in this country, it's raining every 2 minutes. It's not possible to have something which is not joined, and you have to walk in the rain. Okay. And the second part is the Maharaj felt fortunate to have all sages show their mercy upon him. So he's very grateful that it's not that sometimes when I want to die in peace, I need reflection, I need to think, I need my space. People say things like that. But Maharaj, he was grateful that they were all there, and they were bestowing their mercy upon him. So it's just a matter of our mindset, how we think. Same thing, we can think in a negative way, or we think in a very positive way. The same thing can be positive for us or can be negative for us. So it depends on the person. Tasyeva me gasya pravirisho vyasak chittasya grev abhikrishna nirvado mulo dvijshap rupo yatra prasakto behem ashudate. So tasya, his eva, certainly, me, mind, agasya, of the sinful, pra, transcendental, our mundane, isha, controller, the Supreme Lord, vyasakta, overly attached, chitasya, of the mind, greshu, to family affairs, abhikshanam, always, nirved, mula, the source of detachment, dvij, sharp, cursing by the Brahmana, rupa, form of yatra, whereupon prasakta, one who is affected, by him, failfulness, ashu, very soon, that they take place. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the control of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahman's curse, due to my being too much attached to family life. The Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. So, how positive thinking is this Parikshit Maharaj. So Maharaj Parikshit, although born in a family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachments for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he had to be detached by a plan of the Lord. Such direct action is taken by the Lord in the case of special devotee Maharaj Parikshit. We understand this by the presence of the topmost transcendentalists in the universe. The Lord resides with his devotees, and therefore the presence of the great saints indicated the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of the great rishis as a mark of favor of the Supreme Lord. So it's very important that everything that happens in our life, see the hand of God, the arrangement of God in there. Very, very important. And it gives you a lot of peace when you start things that way. No matter what's happening, the reverses are happening, see the arrangement of God in there, and then no longer you have the anxiety or you have the fear. You become totally in control. When you say Krishna is arranging this, he's controlling this, he must have a reason for doing this. It's so powerful. That approach is really powerful. It's not easy, but very useful to have. Sages are here means Krishna is here. That's what Maharaj Parikshit is thinking. We can also see Krishna in the form of death. He can appear in any form he wishes, except whatever is coming our way. Krishna is coming. When you see it as Krishna, then it's Krishna. And when Krishna is coming, it's soul beneficial. Soul Mangalam. So, 15. Tam maya yatam tam mupayatam pritiyantu vipra ganga cha devi drit chitam ishe dvijo prasatha kuhakastakshko va dashatav alam gayat vishnu gatha. So tam, for that reason, ma me upayatam, taken shelter of, pratiyantu, just accept me, vipra, O Brahmins, Ganga, Mother Ganges, cha, also Devi, direct representative of the Lord, drita, taken into, chitam, heart, ishe, unto the Lord, divij upasristaha, created by the Brahman, kuhukaha, something magical, takshaka, the snake bird, va, either the shatu, let it bite, alam, without further delay, gayat, please go on singing, Vishnu Gatha, narration of the deeds of Vishnu. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way, for I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahman has created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. So as soon as one is given up completely onto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganges and Maharaj Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet was sufficient guarantee to the king for going back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. So that is the way. So that's 15 says that we have to be convinced in Krishna consciousness no matter what, to the point that there is no propaganda that Krishna consciousness is a hoax. We may not be completely surrendered, But if we have complete faith in Srila Prabhupada's instructions, that will give us faith and fearlessness. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that if we chant 16 rounds nicely, follow the 4 regulations, and we try to help the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya, we are guaranteed to go back home. So we not only go back home ourselves, we try and take other people as well. He doesn't talk about becoming a pure devotee, doesn't talk about remembering Krishna at the time of death. This is his blessing, his extended mercy, his compassion. It's our good fortune. So, these are usually our fears that how will I remember Krishna at the time of death? I won't be able to, I forget Krishna when I'm about to eat. So hungry that I forget to say, my Prashadam prayers just after. When you're taking a few bites, then you remember, oh, I forgot to, offer it to Krishna. Oh, thank you for this. And also that, you have to be a pure devotee to go back home to Godhead. So you have to be pure devotee, and antikale chamameva, whatever you think of at the last minute of, when you're dying, that's where you end up. So we have these fears in our mind that I'm never going to be a pure devotee because I have material desires, and I'm exposed to material desires. I fall into material desires knowingly, unknowingly. They catch me. Maya is very strong. So we all have these things that very difficult to become a pure devotee. We always leave it till later in life. I will be totally surrendered. I'll be a total a pure devotee. I won't think about it. But that later is right now, because tomorrow never comes. That later is now. Well, we find it very difficult to be pure devotee. We're not able to give so much time because we have so many material things to do, to survive. So like that, becoming a pure devotee, remember Krishna time of death, it says that Srila Prabhupada says, look, just do these instructions I've told you, chant your rounds nicely, and don't break the regulations that I've given you, preach to others, help others, and that in the age of Kali Yuga will help you go back to Godhead. And this Srila Prabhupada's promise, and Srila Prabhupada's promise means Krishna's promise. Krishna breaks his own promise. He does not break the promise of his devotees. So that will happen. We just have to have faith. Punascha bhyad bhagavati anante rathi prasangastad ashreshu mahatsu yam opyami shrishtim Maitri astu sarvatra namo divijbiha. Sapuna again cha and bhuyat, let it be. Bhagavati unto Lord Shri Krishna. Anante, who has unlimited potency. Ratihi, attracting. Prasanga, association. Cha, also tat his. Ashreshu, with those who are his devotees. Mahatsu, within the material creation. Yam, wherever. Opyami, I may take. Shrishtim, my birth. Maitri, friendly relation. Astu, let it be. Sarvatra, everywhere. Namha, my obeisances. Tvijya beha, onto the Brahmanas. So again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmins. I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. That a devotee of the Lord is the only perfect living being is explained herein by Maharaj Parikshit. A devotee of the Lord is no one's enemy, although there may be many enemies of a devotee. He is no one's enemy. Yeah, it's very difficult not to have enemies. We have people who like us, and then in the same time we'll have people who don't like us, and you wonder why. Not done anything to them, but they just naturally feel they don't like you. What can you do about that? There's nothing you can do. you think it must be my karma that some people are going to like me a lot, others not so much. Just the way it is. But the devotee does not dislike anyone, that's the point. He has no enmity with them. He desires association with the devotees of the Lord. This is perfectly natural because birds of the same feather mix together. And the most important function of a devotee is to have complete attachment for Lord Shri Krishna, the Father of all living beings. As a good son of the Father behaves in a friendly way with all his other brothers, so also the devotee of the Lord, being a good son of the Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, sees all other living beings in relation with the Supreme Father. So which means that because they are also his sons, he sees them in a positive way. Because they are like we see everyone as a spirit soul, we all coming from the same source. So we have to not look at the body, color, form, or even habits. You have to accept people as they are. It's very difficult to do that, but it's very, very difficult. Some people's habits, nature is not so good, but we accept them as they are, and that's where you find peace. They accept people for what they are. Simple as that. Otherwise, we just like always nitpicking about their habits and the nature and this bad things they have about them, look all the negative about them. But if you accept it, it is what it is. That's their nature. You laugh it off. It makes life a little bit easier that way. So he tries to bring back the upstart sons of the Father to a sane stage and to get them to accept the Supreme Fatherhood of God. Maharaj Parikshit was certainly going back to Godhead. Even if he were not to go back, he prayed for a pattern of life which is the most perfect way in the material world. A pure devotee does not desire the company of a personality as great as Brahma, but he prefers the association of a petty living being, provided he is a devotee of the Lord. Wow. So anyone who's, we're talking about birds of a feather, anyone who is a devotee, we should be attracted to them, and if they need our help, we help them. Show some compassion to them. The work is already done. If he's already a devotee, then he's already in the mix anyway. So if you can help them get better, then Krishna sees that, and Krishna is grateful that you're trying to improve this devotee to come closer to him. So, is there anything we can add to this? Please, Lord, if I have to come back, then at least give me these qualities. These are the aspects that please Krishna. So all these things, they please Krishna. That we pray for these qualities that we can be like that. Like I said, it's not easy, but if we can be like that, we can see people in a positive way, accept them for what they are. But at the same time, we can accept people for who they are, what they are, their habits, but it should not disrupt our bhakti as well. That's very important. If their nature is disrupting our bhakti, then we need to be mindful, maybe keep a little bit distance from those kind of people. But if some people are just a little bit irritating or something, but you can help them, then help them. But if they are really having effect on your bhakti, then maybe keep arm's length for those kind of people. So thank you so much. And interesting verses there. And I'd like to hear from yourselves. I'll stop sharing. Okay. Right. So we'll start with the Kiran Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can't hear you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My apologies. I was having problems pressing the right buttons. Yes, a continuation of Maharaj Parikshit's preparation to go back to Godhead, and clearly illustrates that our associations, forgiveness, blessings, continued chanting, continued devotion, continued bhakti, to be in the mode of goodness is the desired modes. And clearly, in the old days, people knew. Even the Brits knew. They had the outhouse, and it's called an outhouse because it was away from home. And that's why even the Europeans knew that it's got to be away from home. Yeah, the only problem was in the winter, it was cold to get out there. And some of us will remember the experiences of having to wade through snow to get out in the middle of the night. But it is what it is. And of course, in India, people went outside into the field, well away from home. Even now, in the heat, they have en suites. But hey, who am I to argue with progress? But this is the nature of how these Vedantists were so particular and knew exactly the science of construction, the science of how to construct a city, a town, a village. And hence we should learn from these people. And again, Maharaj Parikshit was such an exalted character that the sages came, because normally the sages and other illuminaries do not engage with people with significant wealth and prestige, because it's considered a form of engaging with the wrong people, because they may not be spiritually inclined. But the sages knew that the Pandavas were well liked by the Lord, and they also sought the Pandavas guidance and instructions from spiritual people, and hence the sages were happy to be in the company of a very illustrious Maharaj who was about to die. And all this is the divine plan of the Lord. This is all part of God's preparations for us. And He has given us a thing called free will. And sometimes we misuse that free will to go down different pathways. But that free will given to us with so much grace has to be utilized for the purpose that it was meant for intended. That is to prepare for going back to Godhead. And this is the one life. And if we make the opportunities to chant, be fearless in our faith, that nobody whatsoever can say that your faith is this and your faith is that. If we're strong in our endeavors and our bhakti, nothing whatsoever can touch us. And so when this faith is so fearless at the time of death, because of our preparations with the regulative principles, the chanting and devotion, and the bhakti, nothing whatsoever will stop us from seeing the face of the divine. The devotees of the Lord are perfect because they have the Lord's interest at heart. Devotees do not like any other devotees because disliking another devotee is an aparad. Hence, we have to find the divine that is in our heart and the divine that is in the hearts of everybody else. We have to love all and serve all and accept people as they are. Some tall, some short, some big, some large, some of different colors, some of different health persuasions. But we have to accept the divine's creation as it is. I'm reminded of a story where an individual went to see his guru. He said, I want to join your ashram. And the guru said, no, you can't. Until you can accept everybody as they are, you can't come and join the ashram. So he went away and he came back and he said, yes, I'm ready to join the ashram. He said, I can accept everybody as they are except my wife. And so the guru said, no, you need to go back and do some more work on your bhakti. And so the day you can accept your wife as she is, then you can come to the ashram. So this is a preparation for accepting the whole of humanity as a part of our family. And it is hard because there are people trying to kill us, bomb us and whoever, and they think we are subhumans and so forth. But then to find that divinity in everybody is a hard journey. And this is no mean feat that the divine has given us. And it's a journey. We have to work at it. We will make mistakes. And it's okay because we have to learn from it. And Krishna is so forgiving and so merciful. And he has forgiven even the mendicant who went off with the prostitute. And then at the end of his life, he cried out for Narayan. And if we remember Narayan, we can be assured we will go back to where we have come from. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice points. Yeah. I mean, so Srila Prabhupada is saying that don't worry. If Krishna wants you to remember him, then he will make sure that you remember him. Anyway, but he's saying that in the age of Kali Yuga, 16 rounds, 4 regulations, helping others, that will qualify. You won't, like what's mentioned in the scriptures, talking like 100%, 99% marks. He said even 55-60% marks, I will get you a pass into into the spiritual back to Godhead. Slada, he's really lowered it for us, the standard. He said even have to take you from the back door, I will get you into the into that Goloka with the one. You just have to have faith and follow at least these minimum requirements. With the minimum results, I can get you back. So I mean, we find them very difficult. We cannot chant properly, right? We struggle to be attentive when we're chanting, and we don't exactly follow 100% the 4 regulations. If you're watching TV and things like that, we're not necessarily following the 4 regulations properly, because mansically we're not following, at least mentally we're not following the 4 regulations. So like that, but you got to do your best with these, and that will qualify us, and you help others. So that the 3 tenets of Lord Chaitanya, his mission. So Nam Ruchi, so we chant nicely, have taste for the holy name, and Vaishnav Seva, you help others, and your seniors, you show respect for them. You take the instruction, like Srila Prabhupada's instruction. You take the instructions. You take the instructions of the seniors that are giving classes and telling you, guiding you, and Jiva Daya, help others to get Krishna consciousness. These just 3 things Lord Chaitanya asked of us. So we follow them nicely. We go back to Godhead. Thanks so much, Prabhu. Okay, I think Hina Mataji is listening only today, and we'll go to Ajaya. Hare Krishna. You're still mute. People have been, or maybe is that to move? Are you there? I think he might have just got busy because he's at work at the moment. Radharani, you want to go?
Hare Krishna everyone, my pranams to all of you. Yes, it's so encouraging to see that whatever Lord wants us to emulate in our lives, He is always showing through His devotees in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that they are actually living it. They're not just saying it, but they are actually showing us how it is done. And how nice to see that Parikshit Maharaj, he is acknowledging the sages who have come. He knows very well that these sages, they don't just come just like that, especially to the royalty, and they all gathered there just to show the greatness of this soul who is about to depart soon in few days' time. And he's thanking the sages for their association, and this is the mood we all should have. Yes, like Prabhupada has written Bhagavad-Gita as it is, we have to accept everything as it is, be it a person, situation or anything. It is very easily said when we are just saying for the sake of it, but to try to live what you're saying is difficult, because we are not at that high stage that we have got rid of all our anarthas. We get disturbed, our emotions, they override us. But still, if we remember that we have to hate the habits, not the person is struggling just like us, and just pray to Lord that they get to a better stage, that they don't disturb with their habits, they get into bhakti so that they can purify their anarthas. And this is all we can pray for each other. Like we are praying for others, I'm sure people who don't like our habits, they pray for us as well. And the curse, we're just watching and reading since so many chapters now, that it came as a curse and now it has become a favor from the Lord. But whatever is happening in Parikshit Maharaj's life, and this is what happens in our lives as well. When one door shuts, three open, and why to have resentment and bad feelings for the one door which is shut upon you. So this is the power of association of the sages. And at the moment our Guru Maharaj has arrived in UK, and all of us should try to take his association, be it for few minutes or few seconds, because the association is so powerful. And aptly we are going through the verses which are describing the importance of the association, how association can start our bhakti, and how association can bring back to life the dormant bhakti which all of us carry within our hearts. So Lord likes all of us to do his katha, because he is in the katha, he is in the scriptures, and Lord wants us to go back to him. All of us in this world will be very lucky if we'll be able to make to the post of Brahma, they say, because none of us has got that much what is required, the values, the point, the standard which is required for going back to Godhead. If we can, wherever we are, if we can go to the next stage in our next life, we'll be so happy for Lord Krishna that we tried our best, however we are, with our shortcomings and everything. And yes, this is an ongoing saga. We have to be with the people, be with the situations. If we are struggling in this life, then if we are not reconciling, we're not able to accept. If we are going to be like Vena, and then it's going to be no good for our bhakti. We have to just take it and just pray to Lord that the next moment is a better moment for us, so we can inch toward Lord Krishna in this life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay Prabhu, are you there?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, Maharaj Parikshit, very nice attitude to how to deal with what was seemingly calamity, but very, very respectful towards the rishis, very, he's understood everything properly, even thinking of his lineage, the greatness of the Pandavas. He's understood how blessed he is to be in to where he is, where the Lord is personally bringing him back to him.
Mm.
We talk about how we want to go back to Godhead as such, but to actually have feel Krishna's presence, to feel Krishna's guidance, his shelter throughout your life is truly amazing. It shows how amazing that Maharaj Parikshit is, that he has been he's given such an elevated post. Not only is he a saintly king, yet he is the conduit towards Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And we have many devotees even today who, inspire so many others with their efforts, with their behavior, with how they, their dedication towards the movement, towards the devotees, to Krishna, Lord Krishna himself. And so, yes, obviously we have 24-hour Kirtan tomorrow. We'll have many devotees coming down. We create a very powerful atmosphere. And that's the thing, when devotees do unite, we celebrate the holy name, celebrate Krishna, then that power that there is there, that when we unite properly connect with Krishna, that awakens, and that's very powerful, very soothing, very, very enlivening experience. We need to create, not only have that, but keep to it. So that's always the problem. You might be whatever it is, whether it be class, kirtan, chanting, whatever it is that enriches you, sustaining it as the difficult part. You can become very, very, very spiritualized. The conditioning seems to have gone away. All of a sudden, you're in your natural constitution, but then you get conditioned again, and then you forget, and that's when things go wrong. So that's the challenge there. Really, we have to become like a Maharaj Parikshit, where that conditioning has been removed. We are just totally connected with Krishna. All we do is think about Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to glorify Krishna. We need to get to that position, and when we do that, then we know that we've got to a stage that we are actually pleasing the Lord, rather than we're still working on the process, and we're doing okay where we could do better. And yeah, so we should keep associated with devotees, possible associated with devotees higher than you, so they can learn from them, and just keep serving Krishna. Very well.
Haribol, thank you so much. So that is the key, and we learn from the behavior of these wonderful personalities, and just remember that Krishna himself was associating with the Pandavas, and how he protected Maharaj Parikshit as well in the womb. So Krishna only associates with pure devotees of the time, and we can also take the association, like I said, the standards, we cannot match those standards, but if we can just follow the instructions from Prabhupada, then Krishna will be pleased that at least if following the instructions of the spiritual master, that is the must, that is the first thing to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So let's do our best. That's all we can do, and let's keep going. So thank you so much for your input, thank for your association, and we'll catch up on Monday. Gantra Shivavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all so much. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.